Hey folks, welcome back to Software Testing. In this video, let's talk about STLC model, which stands for Software Testing Life Cycle. And also we will understand what are the different phases that are present in STLC model. Let's get started. STLC stands for Software Testing Life Cycle. So we already learned that STLC stands for Software Testing Life Cycle. So this is one of the important concepts to know for any software tester. Okay, because based on this topic itself, we will be performing other testing activities will be carried out. STLC is a sequence of different activities performed by the testing team to ensure the quality of the software or the product. So, majorly, so there will be different phases of testing that will be covered as part of STLC, which is very much important for the testing team to test the product. Okay, so what after what we have to perform? So that is what majorly important for any of the software testers to know. SDLC is an integral part of software development life cycle, but STLC deals with only with the testing phases. Okay, so if you have not watched the video related to SDLC, software development life cycle, so you can watch it. So basically, in this software development life cycle, testing is part of it. Okay, but here we are dealing with completely testing related life cycle. SDLC provides a step-by-step process to ensure the quality of the software. Okay, in the early stage of STLC, while the software or the product is developing, the tester can analyze and define the scope of testing, entry and exit criteria, and also test cases. It helps to reduce test cycle time along with a better quality. So basically, with the help of STLC, what we will do is there are different stages. We will see about it. Okay, but with the help of this model, STLC model or STLC software testing life cycle, so we can achieve the better quality product. Okay, as soon as the development phase is over, the testers are ready with the test cases and start with execution. This helps to find the bugs in the initial phase itself. Okay, so how usually it happens is during the developers will be writing or developing the code. Okay, we have to write the test cases based on the requirement. Okay, so those all things we will be doing parallelly when the development team is working on the development. Testers should be ready with the test cases. Okay, so this is what the phases, different phases of STLC model. It starts with requirement analysis, test planning, test case designing, test environment setup, test execution, and in the test execution itself, if we find any defect, then the defect reporting will come into picture. So that we'll learn as part of the defect life cycle. It is a different life cycle, okay? And then the test closure, okay? So very first stage is requirement analysis. If you have watched the video of SDLC model, then you will understand what is requirement analysis. So basically, it is the very first step here in the SDLC model. Okay, here what we will do is from the testing perspective, we will understand the requirement, like what needs to be tested. Okay, if anything is missing or any of the uh, statement is not clear to us, we can ask the questions to the stakeholder and get clarity of it. So that will happen in the requirement analysis phase. Okay, as soon as you get any of the ticket to test, okay, any of the requirement to test, first you will analyze it, because based on our understanding itself, we will have to test the application. So that is the reason we have to perform the an initial analysis. Okay, and so after that, we will create the test planning. Okay, it is one of the efficient phase Okay, you know that, right? So we will have different objectives, like testing objectives will be there, different components of the uh, test plan will be there. If you have not watched the test plan video, you can watch it for the clear definition of the test planning and how do we write the test planning. Okay, so with respect to test planning, it will be created. Test planning will be based on the requirement, and then there are a lot of other fields as well. Okay, it is basically a document which contains objectives, scope, and then the resources, and then the environment. Okay, all the different details. Okay, and next is test cases designing. So now we have analyzed the requirement. So now we have to write the test cases. Okay, so test case is a phase. It gets started once the test planning is done. It depends from project to project. Okay, in this phase, the testing team will write the detailed test cases. Okay, test scenario we will write, and then based on the test scenario, we can write the cases. Okay, also involved sometimes it also you can create the test data as well. Okay, if it is required, and you will write the steps like what is the expected result. Okay, actual result you can document once the execution is completed. Okay, and then you can also get your test cases reviewed by your peer or or your lead. Okay, so this is what will happen in the test case designing phase. So we understood what will happen in the requirement analysis phase and what we will do in test planning phase and test cases designing phase. Okay. And the next is test environment setup. So in this test environment setup, it is basically like you will decide on which environment the all the changes will be deployed and in which environment you have to perform the testing. So that is required, right? So for that, development team has to perform all the code changes. And then once it is ready, some of the company, the development team itself will provide the environment for you to test. But in some cases, it differs from project to project, as I mentioned. Some of them will be just create the PR and then give it to you. So then it is your responsibility to deploy it to the test environment, and then you can start testing it. Okay, so that is where test environment setup is required. So it is basically it contains the latest code changes where you have to test your this particular requirement if it is met or not. Okay, after the test environment is ready, then you can start the execution of your tests. Whatever the test cases that you have written, you have to start executing using the environment that is ready with the latest changes. Okay, so here during the test execution, what will happen is you will start executing the test cases, and you can also find the defect, right, in this phase. You will verify expected result and the actual result is correct or not, whether the test is passed or failed. Okay, and then if there is any bug or any issue that you found or any discrepancy in the code, then you can report it to the development team. So that is where defect reporting comes into picture. So defect reporting is another life cycle. We will talk about it in the next video. And in the defect reporting, you will report the, you will, put all the details of what is this defect about, and then you will attach the screenshot for proof. Okay, and also you will start, you will write the steps to reproduce. Okay, all the information, what is the bug is about. Okay, finally, the test closure. So test closure is when you have completed the execution. So now you have to provide the sign off. So to provide the sign off, you make sure that your all the test cases are executed and then everything is passed. Only then you have to provide the sign off. If there are any defects, then it is not recommendable to provide the sign off until it is a minor defect and then your product team agrees to release it with the defect. Okay, until then, you will not be closing your uh, particular get or the task. Okay, so this is all overall about the STLC model. software testing life cycle, which starts with requirement analysis, test planning, test case designing, environment setup, test execution, and test closure. So finally, so this is where software testers has to understand this concept very clearly, because this is the flow where we will start our activities from the requirement analysis. We will start our activities. Okay, hope you understood the concept of STLC model. If you have any doubts or questions, please do comment. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.